All right, hello. Oh, damn. So, all right, so we jumping into this show today. Oh, man, what a week in basketball we had
Crazy
this
shit,
freaking week, man. How are you, man? How have you
man.
been?
Well, contrary to some of my other appearances early in the season, my Lakers are doing better, baby. So we all right, man. We all right.
Oh, okay, let me
We
give y'all
all right.
some. Let me give y'all some. Let me give y'all some. Where is it at? Here it is. We gotta give y'all props. Yeah, that's what
Look,
we're
I,
gonna
I don't expect too much love, but
do. Yeah, that's what we're
we
gonna
we
do.
on the up and up right now.
Yeah,
Creeping
yeah.
up anyway.
I'm not gonna front. I told our guy from what is it Mr. Marvin's show, Gentleman's Club. We told him, he a Faker fan just like you, and y'all coming up. You know what I'm saying? We got to give
Coming up,
y'all
man.
props.
Coming up,
Y'all actually doing something. So
Well, and the
yeah.
thing is, we finally
Props to
got Bron and Anthony Davis healthy for once. So that's a shame.
Here's the thing, man. Like Bron shit is like clockwork with this fool. Like every year, dude. Like he has to go like dumb hard at the start. You know what I'm saying? Like just to make sure, like, look, I'm still the king. And then like he does this thing at All Star, then he turns it down a little bit. Then he takes that little always damn near clockwork break in February. He go to South Beach.
I will
he
say,
goes somewhere warm. He ain't got to go nowhere now because he in L.A. So he just posts. Man, he do
post up at the crib.
Bro, he does this shit every year.
Hey,
bro.
I will say though, I have to make it clear that I'm a pre-LeBron Lakers fan. So typically, when I talk about the Lakers, I don't talk about it through the lens of just being happy to be here because Bron is here.
Right. Right.
I did expect some more games played out of Bron over the course of 4 to 5 years. I'm just saying.
Don't
Just
know
saying.
why. Yo, my man's whole goal this year is to get that scoring championship, be the all-time scorer in the NBA, and maybe get in contention to get a chip. That's his whole goal this year, bro. Like I don't think he got anything else that he's thinking about.
Hats off though to Rob Pelinka because he worked magic at the trade deadline for us. To turn Russ into what we got right now with Beasley, D'Angelo Russell, Vanderbilt. We actually got real NBA rotation players.
Yeah.
6 seed, we get in there, we play Sacramento, see who.
But let me ask you this. Let me ask you this because I'm glad you brought that up. Do you really think because you got rid of Russ and who else did you get rid of?
Shit, that's really it.
Yeah, it was
Thomas Bryant, he was actually playing a real role for us, not playing in Denver right now.
Yeah.
Behind Jokic, but and they got rid of Pat Bev.
He got rid of Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Do you really think in what you got rid of and you brought in, you really think that's better than what y'all had?
Yes.
You do?
Yes, because one, Beasley is a better shooter than what we had on the roster when we had Russ. D'Angelo Russell can shoot better than Westbrook can and still do all of the same playmaking that Russ did.
Yeah.
Much better off the ball. Vanderbilt is a legit defender. Keeps LeBron from having to guard guys on the defensive end for real.
Yeah.
And you get a versatile defender next to Anthony Davis so that it's not all on him. Because we see shit when it's all on him, usually he break down.
Yeah, always. He can't carry that load. I don't know, man. I just think that y'all kind of. I think y'all should have really held on to Russ. Getting rid of him probably would appease everybody except him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the one person who didn't want to leave because he wanted to, retire there. But everybody else knew it wasn't a fit. But I just really think that, one, y'all should have kept him. But two, that's going to really motivate him with the Clips. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I really think that's going to totally motivate him with the Clips. He's super happy to still be in L.A. He's super happy to still be in L.A., but I think that because he doesn't have to move, he don't have to change his zip code, nothing like that. He don't have to uproot nobody. And I think that he is really going to show he's gonna play the type of ball that people want him to play. He's going to play it for the Clips because I think he has no other choice.
And that's fine, but do you believe the Clippers can go win a chip? Because I don't.
I had the Clips going. What did I have them doing? I want to say in preseason or when the season first started, I had them in Dallas going to the Western Conference Finals. And what is it? I want to say I had them going to the finals. I want to see. I don't know what it is. I just want to see the Clips win something. I want to see the Clips win something. I want to see the Clips get to a level they've never gotten to before. And look how deep that team is.
But they've been
deep as shit. No, they ain't never been deep like this.
I think
Bruh,
so.
They got Bledsoe, they got Russ, they got who else they got?
I mean, they still got
who else they got?
Marcus Morris can't stay on the floor right now. They got the Plumlee from Charlotte. He's all right.
He can still ball.
But they still losing games. They haven't in a weak West.
A weak West. That West is okay. That West is not the strongest. You right, Josh. You sure right.
Weaker than most years.
True.
Weaker than most years.
But it's weak. You say weak, but I say dumb competitive. You know what I'm saying? Because everything's mad close, and it's a game between everybody. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's a competitive West, and for the most part this year, outside of the last few weeks, you've had a healthy Kawhi and a healthy PG, and y'all ain't been able to do that.
True, that's true. But also too, they're just getting together. Just like y'all just made these changes at the deadline, so did them, and they added a lot of new faces, man.
They added Bones Holland, they added Plum.
Oh, they got Bones.
They got Russ. It's not moving me, though.
Bruh.
They still six right now and could end up in the play-in if they lose to us this week.
I feel you on that, but I'm telling you, when they figure it out, they're going to be all right. And then, now, what's up with PG, though?
PG, I ain't going to lie, his knee injury looked a little – they said they're going to reevaluate him in 2 to 3 weeks, which that was about a week or so ago.
Uh-huh.
He's not playing again before the end of the regular season.
Oh, okay.
He's not. He'll probably be back for the playoffs, but even then –
yeah.
That looked like I thought he was gonna have a torn ACL when I saw the video.
Yeah.
Grateful for him that it's not, that he actually has a chance to come back. But if he does come back, it's probably gonna be a game or two into the first round, which depending on who they match up with. Like if they go up against Phoenix, you got Paul George missing the first 2 games, they're gonna be down 2-0.
Yeah.
They're gonna be down 2-0.
Yeah. I mean I can see that. It's just I really want them to figure it the hell out, and I even think if they can figure it out fast enough, even with PG being gone, with all the fucking chips people they have, because they have a deep ass roster, they should be able definitely get out the first round.
Yeah, like I think it comes down to matchups, because I don't like the Phoenix matchup for them, even though Phoenix, as much as other people like them to like go and make a finals run, I'm still a little hesitant because I don't think they got the depth. But when you got Kevin Durant and Devin Booker, like shit, you can put that depth to the win. You're going to figure it out later. Like, if both of them can go get you 30, 35 a night, like, and that's what they were doing in the first couple games when they got KD, it's going to look real heads and beds for some of them teams in the West.
I hear you, but the thing with me, with them two, man, I just don't, and this is why I knew this shit in Brooklyn was going to fall, because I don't go for people for names. You know what I'm saying? I don't go for, big name talent who can score a lot of points, or cats who are just all-star players and they just automatically going to play together and it's going to be dope. I don't see how it's going to work. I mean, I don't see that all the time.
Right.
And the thing with Phoenix is, yeah, they're nice and their games kind of complement each other, but is that sustainable? Because all 3 of them superstars that they got over there, especially the 2 older ones, are injury prone. They just are. You know what I'm saying?
They're injury prone for sure.
So I mean, and I'm sorry, I don't know why don't nobody believe this shit. Like, you can see it in front of you. We're never going to see that KD prior to that 2019 Toronto finals injury. We're never going to see that KD again. No. Like, that KD is done.
No, even on the nights where he's dropping 30, like, it still look a little different now than what it did before. Like,
you know what I mean?
You was out on an island with KD basically in that 2019 playoffs, and he was busting everybody ass.
Right.
You get 35. You get 35. Equal opportunities.
Right. Right.
He was on that.
Right.
But even now, I think the one thing that I kind of, I guess, edge in Phoenix's favor is the fact that, okay, on the nights where KD don't have it, he ain't just relying on Kyrie and a bunch of dudes. You got Book, who can go again, get you 25, 30, 35 some nights. If Chris Paul is healthy, he's still going to be able to will your team in some of them big moments, whether it's playmaking or pulling up from mid-range, whatever. The key to me is Aiden.
It always is with Phoenix.
They had the whole issue with his contract before the season.
Yeah.
He wanted a bigger role. You're definitely not going to have that now with Kevin Durant.
Right.
I want to see how that plays itself out in the playoffs, but I think if they get matched up with the Clippers, I would take Phoenix. If they get matched up with Golden State, that's the one where I'm like, because Steph, you saw it, I think last week or the week before they played Phoenix before KD came back.
Right.
He was talking that shit to Chris Paul.
He was.
He was in Chris Paul grill.
He can do it.
And
he can do it. CP3 can't do shit with that.
No, not at all. Not at this stage of his career.
Not at all.
So
not at all.
I think out of those three teams, I like Golden State the best, even though you can't win 10 games on the road in the season. That scared me.
Right.
But I think playoff time, they the only team right now that I see with a switch that they really could flip, and I believe it.
Yeah.
I don't think everybody else has that level of cachet to just give them that benefit of the doubt.
Bro, talk about it. And see, that's the thing, bro. Like, please believe. I was so ready to throw dirt on their ass. I was so ready to say, look, I said, Golden State, y'all done.
I'm living that life out west with them, man.
Bruh.
I'm trying to put some dirt on them.
Bruh,
They keep
like,
putting that fucking Undertaker arm up through the ground.
Nigga, I'll worry about it.
Yeah.
Warriors ain't doing shit. Like, they just, fuck that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Fuck that. Like, every time I see them, even in games they lose when they play their ass off, and then just out of nowhere, like they'll have like one bad game or two bad games, and then out of the next game, Clay is busting ass,
right?
Or Steph done bust ass, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or Dre done made all types of plays for them to win the game,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Or clowns his damn self. I just can't do it. I keep hearing Rudy T's voice. Never doubt the heart of a champion.
Yeah.
Like, because these cats, they literally just won. They've been the dynasty. They know how to win.
Yep.
I wanted to say they were done, but man.
So you bring this up, and the thing that I think about, for me, of course, as a Lakers fan, Lakers in that, what was it, 2000-2001 year, the year they almost swept through the playoffs. In the regular season, they didn't look like that same juggernaut for the whole season.
Right.
But again, coming off a chip, flip that switch, and you saw the result. Now, I'm not saying Golden State is going to run and go undefeated in the playoffs.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
But at the same time, if you look up in a month and a half, and we say, okay, the Warriors are back in the Western Conference Finals, I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Right.
Now, they might be on the same side as Denver to have to go through them in the second round.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Denver still got to prove something to it.
That's one thing, though. I don't think they're strong enough to get to the Western Conference Finals. I see them like surprising people in the playoffs, but I don't see them being that deep. But also, too, man, here's the thing. Like what somebody put on Twitter not too long ago, it's like 12 teams I could see that could win the championship. No, it's really not.
No,
just because you see a lot of teams at the top that you ain't used to seeing, it's not a lot of teams. Like, because I don't see. Look, man. I love not love. Denver's good. Joker's all right. I know he's good as shit. I don't think he's MVP worthy this year. I don't think he was last year. I say it again. I think that was MVP. That was Joel's joint. Joel should have got that MVP. That was his shit. But what is it? Denver, I don't see them getting to the Western Conference Finals because they don't know how. They don't know how. In Sacramento's going to be dope because you got some players on that team that are kind of that know how to win, and they got a really good coach now. But it's just like they don't know how.
Yeah, it's
you know what I'm saying?
To the point that you were making about the West being like just crazy competitive this year. For the people that say I could see like 10 or 12 teams winning the ship, wrong. If I'm being 100% honest, past Boston and Milwaukee, I don't know that I would have a championship favorite. I think if either of those two teams come out of the East, they're probably winning the ring.
Right.
Just facts.
Preach.
Denver, Jokic, man, it's messed up for him because out of these 3 seasons, he's won MVP the last 2 years.
Uh-huh.
This is actually the best season of the 3 seasons, but he's not going to win MVP this year.
Right.
It's partly.
Wait, stats wise, this is the best?
He's averaging a triple double.
He is.
He's like, I think, top 5 in the league in assists at center. He's averaging, I want to say something like 12 and a half rebounds a game. He's only averaging 24 and a half points, which most MVPs you're probably looking at somewhere in that 26, 27 range points wise. But when you averaging damn near
12
13,
and a half points?
No, 24 and a half points.
I'm about to
12
say,
and a half rebounds. 12 and a half rebounds. So 12.5 rebounds, 10+ assists.
God bless him. That dude clowning.
He's clowning, and his team is number 1 in the West. So
I don't like his game.
So the thing is, it's the opposite for me. I love his game. I do think, though, we're punishing him this year for the MVP that he shouldn't have gotten last year.
Pretty much, it should be. Well, here's the thing, though. Ain't nobody, you can't even say that yet because they may fuck around and give it to him again. You know what I'm saying? Because, look, y'all want to, here's the thing, and fuck it, I'm going to say it because it's fucking true. You know, J.J. Redick fake ass because he went to Duke, because he can't help it. He got fake enemy with the fucking Duke, you know what I'm saying? And not all Duke players, you know what I'm saying? Because Bobby Hurley and JT are that deal, you know what I'm saying? But, what is it? He can act like, writers that vote on who MVPs aren't racist and aren't biased and da 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 da. If you can try that bullshit if you want to, JJ, but you know that's bullshit. Cats be racist. Cats be on some bullshit. I mean, when Larry Legend won it 3 years straight in the 80s, was he better than Magic all 3 of them years? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about all 3, right. But Legend was dope as shit. So I can't really say.
And similar to Jokic, Legend was getting better every year in those MVPs.
Sure was.
Because he had some ridiculous. I was looking this up, comparing kind of his MVP seasons to Jokic's. And Larry, like, for the people who only think about like LeBron James as like the only great all-time small forward,
he still got numbers that he ain't close to Legend yet.
Larry was putting up some LeBron-esque numbers in the 80s, and people don't really remember that.
Real talk, man. Bron straight has number. He still needs to get to some of Legend's numbers. That's how dope his numbers are.
Hey,
you know what I mean? Like,
so Larry was really doing that,
man.
For real. The thing that Larry had the benefit of that Jokic has not given us yet is the same years that Larry was winning MVP, he was in the finals.
But here's the thing. But true. But you can't really go off that. It's a regular season award.
But we've seen
it's a regular season award.
It's a regular, and I agree with that.
It don't matter where you finish in the postseason.
I wholeheartedly agree, which is why I
kind of should, but it don't.
I wouldn't be mad at Jokic winning MVP this year again, just based on like the facts around it. He's got the best team in his conference. Mm-hmm. He's having the best season of his last 3. It just so happened he won MVP in the 2 seasons before this.
Yeah. But look, it's I won't even keep it to Legend. I'll just keep it because Legends, definitely could be justified. But the one, I ain't going to talk about Dirk one because Dirk one I think was justified. That damn Nash though, that damn Nash though.
Steve Nash is a problem with the whole
experience. Especially when that second one we know was Kobe's. We know it's Kobe's.
Kobe's out here carrying.
It was 1,000,000% Kobe's, and the only reason Kobe didn't get it because Kobe was not like that.
Yeah,
that's all it was.
That's it.
That's all the fucking.
Because I'm a firm believer. I've said this on wax. I've said this to people in my life. If you take Steve Nash off of those Phoenix teams in those 2 years, and you just replace him with an average point guard,
right?
That is still a legitimate playoff team.
It is.
Regardless.
It is. That was a well-owned machine.
Kobe was averaging 35 points a game.
Bruh.
And his next best players was Chris Mim and fucking Smush Parker.
Come on, bro. Come on.
And so I get, Kobe wasn't likable.
Bynum was there. Yeah.
And hell, even if you wanted to make a case for guys like KG, Tim Duncan, those guys were still balling harder than Nash to me.
Yeah.
At that time.
They were.
Dirk, I think Dirk's MVP was legitimate. The problem with Dirk's was they went and immediately lost in the first round the year he won.
Yeah.
The fucking MVP to that we believe Warriors team.
Yeah.
Larry's, I think, was legit. Even Giannis, when he won the back-to-back MVPs, people were talking about, okay, well, he got to do it in the playoffs. We saw finally it wasn't right then after the MVPs, but right after that, he showed us, I'm going to give y'all a 50-piece in the finals.
I'll be honest with you. That second one, I didn't think that Giannis deserved that second one, but I couldn't think of nobody else that was better.
The problem for the rest of the league was like the dudes that you had in MVP contention at the time was a dude like Harden, which nobody liked how Harden played.
Oh God!
So they weren't going to give him.
And the one that he got that year, that was 1,000% Bron's. Yeah. Bron had better numbers. Yeah. He played more games. He just balled. Like Bron balled his ass off that year that Harden won that. Yeah. I was so shocked when Harden took that MVP from Bron. And you know me, I am not a Bron dude. but that was bronze.
Yeah,
like,
that was one of the ones that I like when people say Bron got a argument to have more MVPs. That's definitely one of them. That's definitely one of them.
For real.
Because Bron was going stupid that year.
He was.
Because I think that was the year right after the ring.
But the Cleveland one?
Yeah.
Yes.
He was going stupid.
Yes, because he was still floating off that shit.
Hell yeah.
Bruh, all right.
On a high, man.
Yeah, for real. All right, so look, what is it? We don't kind of damn near broke down.
We derailed a little bit. We went from talking about the damn Western Conference to Jokic.
We ain't derailed. We just damn near broke down the Western Conference and shit. We did that. Fuck, I kind of want to do it right now. Let's jump into the East, right? But before we jump into, I'm excited about this segment. This week in ball.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Before we jump into that segment, shit, let's dive into that East right quick because, man, you know what? Before I even go to the obvious shit, because I got a team right now. That you may not be thinking about. What's a team that's low key nobody's thinking about right now, but could mess around and have a deep run in the playoffs?
Just in the Eastern Conference?
Yes. It's kind of obvious if you kind of look. So you gotta look though.
There's two teams that kind of come to mind. One that I think people.
You got a lighter?
Yep.
Bad. There we go.
Cleveland is one that I think people have not talked a lot about, but they don't have, what's the way I want to put this? I like Cleveland.
Cleveland is a sexy pick.
Cleveland's
That's not, come on, bro.
But Philly is the one to me where.
Philly's number 3, Josh. Do you understand the question I just asked you?
But you said championship, right?
No.
No. Just making some noise in the playoffs?
Listen to what I said again. Listen, because you totally missed me. What I'm saying is, this is a team that is like low-seeded right now in the Eastern Conference, right? Yep. I mean, low-seeded to the point where they're like barely in playing. But when the playoffs start, if they make it in, they can go deep.
What, Miami?
There it is! He nailed it! Now, where's it at? That ain't it. God bless it. They're fucking. Yeah, he nailed it.
The only reason Miami didn't immediately come to mind though is because if they get that 7th seed, they got to see the Celtics in the first round, bro.
Oh shit, maybe not.
So that's my only pushback on the Miami thing because Miami, they are.
Where's the game show? They ain't got the game show up here.
Of course, they got vets. They got Jimmy Butler. They got all the ingredients, but it's still a lot that they leave on the table to me, night in and night out. Where I'm like,
it is.
Yeah, because again, you got a 7th seed.
That's because they're trying to scrape. That's because I don't know what it is. Maybe what's his name? Harrison don't want to spend like he used to. Maybe he don't have the money like he used to. Maybe Carnival ain't bounced back yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. For those of you that don't know, Mickey Harrison, the owner of the Miami Heat, he also owns Carnival Cruises. Yep. That's his main revenue. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's his main.
That's his, basketball money is not his main income.
Yeah. No owner. I don't
for the most part. I mean, really, outside of Lakers.
Let's talk about that real quick. Is there any owner in the NBA whose main revenue is just owning a team?
The Lakers.
Yeah, there is y'all.
The Bucks family. That's the family business.
Just y'all.
That's it.
Everybody else, no other money.
No. And that's the other part about LA. They talk about where they should spend more and do all. They spend for what they can,
right? Because they ain't got it like that.
Because they ain't got it like Ballmer down the hall.
Yeah. Word.
Ballmer's out here throwing billions around, getting stadiums built and shit. So
that dude got stupid money.
Crazy.
Stupid money.
Crazy. But yeah, that's my only pushback with Miami. I don't see them if they got to match up with Boston or if they end up. Boston or Milwaukee, you see them in the first round, I think they out.
Since I just said it out loud too, I really think that might be it, bro. I think it's the fact that Harrison don't have it like he used to money-wise, and that's why because look what they're doing it with. They're doing it with undrafted players, like almost bottom-of-the-barrel players.
Well, and the other thing too, and we probably, I know everybody loves Jimmy Butler and how he goes about, well, I won't say everybody. A lot of people love his attitude towards the game, kind of that old-school type of player. I don't think it's that many guys that's just lining up to want to go play with Jimmy, though.
Facts.
I mean, if we keeping it 100, because at the end of the day, Jimmy is great, but this is also the same dude that was, trying to run Andrew Wiggins and Karl Anthony Towns about the gym in Minnesota because they weren't, trying to give him a deal. They were saying that dudes was being coddled, which they probably were, but it's ways you go about shit.
Yeah.
That's all.
And see, I think even Jimmy probably regrets the way he acted when he was with Minnesota because he kind of played himself, saying he was super harsh, saying, and they weren't ready for that.
Right.
Saying he probably overdid it a little bit, but it was also the way he was raised in Chicago. You know what I mean? So he just went by what he knew. But, saying, I don't think Cats is lined up to play for him, but I'm going to say this right now. And I don't see I think this is the strongest Philly team. I think this is the strongest Philly team they've had.
Yeah.
And I think everybody in Philly, I think them Cats, like to a man, and this is a shot. This is not a shot in the dark, but this is not like this is a super like this is a futures bet right here. But I think to a man, these Cats are kind of on some. If this shit don't work out this year for us in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, I am gone. You know what I'm saying? And I say that for Joel. I say that for Jamie. I say that for Doc. I say that for everybody. Like everybody knows, like, bruh, if this shit does not work out this year, we are deuces. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody has their own landing points. I think Jamie will end up back in Houston. I think Doc, he'll end up with some damn team or maybe take a little break. And I think Joel, I know somebody who do want to play with Jamie ass, with Jimmy's ass, is as Joel. And I think Joel would love to go to Miami.
But
I think he would love that shit.
Do Miami got enough to get him in a trade, though?
He would, okay.
That's the real question.
Is his deal, his deal's not up?
I think Joel, he might have 2 years after this one, maybe.
2 years?
Yeah. So, I mean, you got a little bit of leverage at that point, but at the same time, Miami got to give up something.
Miami gonna have to give up something, but also too, if you willing to cause a ruckus, you know what I mean? If you willing to cause a ruckus, if you willing to do that, that's how these players get shit done now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't go through agents. It ain't, you know what I'm saying, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It's how messy can you make it to get what you want.
And I think Joel is the type of dude, too, where I think that he will make it. He's the type of guy that probably could make it messy, but I also think he's going to just be on some like, hey, look, I done gave this situation all I can. We done tried all kind of shit around me. It's just not working here.
Right.
And I see Philly, and especially Daryl Morey being like, having gone through it with Harden in Houston. Just like, all right, let's work something out to get him where he want to go.
Right.
And this is going to be one of them things. Joel going to give him a list of teams. We see if we can work these teams out. Personally, I think if Joel leaves, the bad part for him and probably the bad part for Philly is that his best options are all in the East. This is definitely a make or break year for Philly, though. This is like they have to get to the Eastern Conference Finals, and I'm not sure that it's gonna happen for them.
Right.
Again, now if they get to the point where Boston catches Milwaukee and gets that 1 seed, and you drop Milwaukee back down to 2, and that's your 2-3 matchup, Milwaukee and Philly. It's not the greatest matchup for the Bucks. But again, you counting on Joel to stay healthy for a full playoff run. You counting on Harden to stay healthy and stay locked in for a full playoff run. You asking for a lot.
Who do you have in that?
In Milwaukee and Philly, I would probably take the Bucks in 7. I think that would turn into a long series though if everybody's healthy. Because I think Joel he's on a mission this year that I have not seen him on in previous seasons. But I still think Giannis is the best player in the league.
I would take Philly, and the only reason I would take Philly is because I could totally see them beating them, and I see them their best player literally like you just said, he's on a mission. Like he's playing like the Spurs after they lost to Miami that in 14. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He just came back dumb hard the next year. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I see them, doing it. And it will be a struggle. Yeah. It will be, it will be epic, you know what I'm saying? That showdown between them two. But if they can slow down Chris, you know what I'm saying, and keep like it's just like I don't understand why the only team that can stop Giannis going to the cup is Boston. Like why
that's because that's the only team with the versatility. So like for instance, if we look at if we look at the game, y'all just blew the doors off of them.
40 points.
Hell, 41 to be exact.
Boston beat that ass by 40, y'all. Beat the best team in the league by 40, 41.
40-piece, no sauce, no fries. Just
none of that shit. Just beat their ass.
Straight to the
beat
thing,
the shit out their ass. What's up, y'all? Whoever looking on face, bitch. What up?
The difference between like Boston and Philly is Boston, if y'all want to, y'all can throw Marcus at them to put somebody small on them, make him try to, go in the post where you got to work around a double team.
Right.
You can put one of the Jays on them and leave them on the island comfortable.
Right.
You can throw Time Lord or Al on them just to throw some size on them. You got a whole bunch of looks.
True, and we got names to go with those people to back it up. But to me, it's not even about that though. To me, it's that wall they set up right there in the paint.
Oh yeah,
that wall they set up right there with Al, G. Will, and even
I
Smart.
forgot Grant. Grant was on the island last year.
Oh my, G. Will D'd him up so great last year in them playoffs. Like that's the reason why he's on the team right now. He's a man. The only thing I just want to say something too real quick about G. Will. His shot has regressed.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? His shot has totally regressed. I don't know what the deal is. I love G. Will, but Grant, you need to get that shot back. Your defense is still there, but shit, you know what I'm saying? And his defense has kind of took a step. He lost a little bit of confidence after that Cleveland game. That Cleveland game kind of fucked with him.
I also think
so.
I also think for him it might be a little bit about not getting the contract that he was looking for coming into the season.
True. That's very true.
But I don't fault Boston for not paying him.
Yeah,
I think it's a kind of chicken and egg thing. If I give you this money now, we don't get that production. We're not going to be able to come off this money.
Right.
But at the same time, if we don't pay you now, we use that as a motivating factor for you throughout the season.
Right.
We might get the best out of you. So
I definitely think he's the type of dude that if you pay, he will still work. He's not going to not work. You know what I mean? Like that's one thing I see with him. He's still going to work his ass off. So shit.
Now, but Philly though, I just don't think they got. I think it's going to be asking a whole lot of Joel because he's going to have to be the main body that they throw at him. You're going to have to ask him to guard Giannis on defense and then have to come still put up 35 to 40 on offense.
Set up a wall, though. Shit, maybe get Maxey down there.
We talking about Doc. Is Doc going to make that type of adjustment?
Doc's that's the thing I don't get to. Like, Doc should know how to do this because he literally defended this shit with Bron when we had him in the early 2000s. When we had when we had to beat, you know what I'm saying? When we had to beat him in fucking, what was it, 07, 08, 09, 2010, 2012. How did we stop fucking Brown when all he wanted to do was go to the paint? We set up a wall. You know what I'm saying?
But again, the personnel was a lot different, man. At least that's my view on it.
Yeah.
I do think though Philly can definitely win against Milwaukee. I don't see them winning against Boston though.
Yeah.
Again,
of course, no doubt.
I think the only team that can beat Boston in the playoffs is Milwaukee, and we just saw three games this regular season where Milwaukee ain't looked that great.
I just want to say too that shooting exhibition they put on, like, that's not indicative of how a series is going to go.
Yeah.
Like, because that game, their shots were so wet. Like, it was stupid. Like, the line before the game was 2.5.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a close game. Y'all came out on fire, and that was their 5th game in 7 nights.
Bruh, you know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, that's what led to that.
But again, to y'all credit, y'all done played them 3 times this year. Y'all beat them 3 times. So
we have.
We got to mention that. It's not like we only going off of this being an admiration. Like, y'all still beat them 2 times before this.
Yeah.
And Christmas Day, y'all got in their ass.
Yeah, we did. And we beat them handily. Like, that's the thing that I like about it. But it's just like, it's not going to be that fucking easy when we play them in the playoffs because they know what to do. Like they mad nice.
Been there before. It's one of them styles make fights types of matchups. Man.
Yeah.
I do think for Boston, one thing that I'm going to need to see out of them in the playoffs, I need them to get some easier shots in a lot of these possessions, especially later in games.
Easier shot.
So, to what you mentioned about them winning by 40 against the Bucks. Crazy shot-making shots were wet. But it's a lot of times where I still see, especially Jalen and Jason, it's a lot of settling for jump shots when you got the cup right there.
Oh, no. I disagree. You're right. They do. In losses, they play like that. But in wins, you know what I'm saying?
And that's my thing, though.
They go to that
be
cup.
something that they should do
cup.
every game.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's
no
a
doubt.
lot of games where it's like I
No
feel
doubt.
like they taking the foot off the gas a little bit when they need to just go hard because they got the depth, they got the youth to be able to sustain from now through the end of the playoffs. Yeah. It's just and I don't know if that's the thing of not having Ime versus Missoula. But it's some games where I feel like they don't have their foot on gas. Like they lost like last week or the week before to the Wizards by like 20 points.
Yeah.
And that's like the Wizards are tanking, fam.
And that shit is disturbing when they had them like out of nowhere. See, because this is the thing. Like one thing that JT does, and we don't Celtic fans, like real Celtic fans, know, like he's kind of it's somewhat skittish. Like my man will have like two good games, and the next game be shitty. You know what I'm saying? He'll have a good game, the next game be shitty. You know what I'm saying? He'll have, two good games, next game be shitty. Like it's kind of up and down like that, and we cannot have that in the playoffs. And that's one thing that's his problem. When he does that, the team go with that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that is being that's being rectified because he knows how to to keep everyone else involved now. Before, when he would have a bad game, and it would just bring the team down. Now he knows how to, when he's having a bad game, who to distribute, who to get the ball to get them.
And it helps that Jalen is having the season that he's having. I mean, Jalen's going to be on an All-NBA team this year.
Yeah, like if Jay's not on that, it's fucking crazy. And here's the thing: if he makes an All-NBA team, it triggers
Superman.
It triggers. I think it triggers. $100 million that he can get for next season.
Yeah, so it's like fuck. He's not on a rookie deal anymore. So like this next extension for him, if he makes All NBA, I think can get as much as 35% of the salary cap.
Woo!
So it's gonna be a big payday for him, a big opportunity for Boston to be able to keep him there.
He deserves it, and this is the thing too. I just want to say this is a big to all of you NBA fans who think that you're going to somewhat attain or some way sniff around JB and get JB to come to your team, and he'll leave the Celtics because he doesn't like Bonds or he doesn't like the Celtics. I'm going to tell you right now, you can kiss my natural black ass. That shit will not happen. It won't happen. It will never happen. Sorry. It just won't. I mean, y'all never going to get him. Y'all not going to get him. He's going to stay in Boston. There's some things going on. And here's the thing, too. It needs to start being a thing where they're both put on the same pedestal. I'm really getting sick of this. Like, he's better than. No, really, like them two. Boom. They right there. You know what I'm saying? They right there. And maybe it can be Jordan, Pippen, and JT is Jordan a little more than you know what I'm saying. But bruh, they damn near right there. They on some fucking Stockton Malone type shit.
I will say,
like shit.
I think I was hearing. The game against Milwaukee was their 33rd game this season where both of them scored 25.
Like, bruh. They,
legit.
They're
it's
so dope. And
legit.
And just the thing I want to say about the mighty Boston Celtics, you talk about a deep-ass roster. Like, ridiculously deep. We have everything. What's up, Miss Lady? We have everything we need to get to the next level. Yeah. And then some. Blake saw the mess. Blake saw
headbutted the other night.
Bro, Blake, for real. I love how they gave him his mask.
Yeah.
How JB gave him his mask. Fucking Blake saw the bullshit that was popping off in Brooklyn. He was like, you know what? I'm gone in the off season. Let me get down to let me run up real quick to Boston. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they more stable, and they just went to the finals and they swept our ass. Yeah. So he comes to us,
on the wall,
bro. He's been an excellent addition. You know what I'm saying? Muscala, man, I love when that dude gets out there. That dude can shoot. Like, we nice, man.
Nice,
you know
nice. Now,
like, fuck.
Again, it's just make sure y'all stay out of y'all own way. That's all.
Stay out of what that mean?
Just again,
what that mean?
Shot selection, turnovers. That's the only thing y'all gotta worry about.
Yeah,
when y'all because typically those two things go together for the Celtics. When they have nights where they're either not making shots or taking bad shots. Right. If those don't go hand in hand, they usually turn over the ball, and that's the games where they lose.
Right.
But when everything is hidden, ball movement, JB, JT, they know how they can, do. All right, you take your time, get your shots up. I'll go get mine up. At this point in the game, the chemistry and everything else is there.
Everything works.
They just got to stay out their own way.
Right.
That's all.
True.
Because again, I say it now. I don't see them losing to anybody but Milwaukee in the East.
Yeah.
I hate that I got to say that because I'm a Lakers fan, but again, I'm a realist.
Right. Yeah.
Celtics are. Again.
Oh shit! Oh, here we go.
We
got
more representation in the room.
God
man.
damn it! Yo,
we
shout
got
out
more
to,
representation.
Shout out to the next show coming up. My City, My Music, y'all. We got said is coming up. Host of The Ghetto. He is coming up, y'all. We got to give it up to said he's in the building. Said you a Fakers fan, bro.
This is how he treats me.
You a Fakers fan?
This is how he treats me.
I don't know why you coming over like you about to talk about you ain't about to talk about your team, bro. The fuck? Shit. Tell Kay, did you turn his mic on? Tell Kay, I hope she even cut your mic on. Like what?
We lit. Bro, I'm a lifelong Lakers fan.
Oh, God.
That's what I said. Pre-LeBron, man. This ain't
Pre-LeBron.
This ain't,
I thought you was from Seattle or some shit.
No, I'm from San Diego.
You from San Diego?
Yeah.
God damn.
So like the alley-oop with Kobe and Shaq, that's like my first memory of basketball.
It was okay. That was when they were super Fakers.
I remember being in my
Oh my God!
Oh, you a black man and you a Celtics fan? That's like,
damn right! Wow!
They shit in Bill Russell's bed, bro. After all Bill Russell did.
Okay, wow! You want to hear something? Want to hear something real quick? Wow, this dude right here, you done fucked up.
He came in hot. I appreciate that shit.
He came in real hot. He came in real hot.
Deion Waiters, baby.
I did J.R. Smith.
Right, he about to flame out like Deion. He about to flame out like Deion. You know why I'm a Celtics fan as a black man? You know why?
Bill Russell.
You know who had all the brothers?
The Pistons.
The Celtics. No, the Celtics. You know who had the first starting all black starting five in the NBA?
Probably the Celtics. Red Auerbach.
The Celtics. There you go, Red Auerbach, because he was a genius. He was a man. He was an icon.
No, I know my homework.
You know who had the first black starting a black head coach in professional sports?
Celtics.
No, that would be the Cleveland. What do they call it? The Cleveland Pros back in the early 1900s. It was Fritz Pollard. He was a dude. This dude was a player coach, and he was a head coach of the football team.
You want to know my Celtics villain origin story?
Hold up, no, I ain't done yet. But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
I have an actual story.
Here's the thing. What's the name? The Celtics, and when the Celtics in the 80s, when they had Larry Legend, Kevin McHale, and Robert Parrish, you know what I'm saying? You know who their starting point guard was?
No.
Dennis Johnson. Dennis Johnson, black man.
Oh, okay.
He was a shit. You know who their head coach was?
No.
Casey Jones, black man, used to be a player for them back in the 60s and 70s. He was the shit. Like, dude, Celtics are super deep when it comes to black folks.
I feel you, but when
basketball.
I think of Boston, I think of Mark Wahlberg. I'm not really too big on Mark Wahlberg.
Okay, you think about Mark. All right, man. All right, you're gone. You're done. You're banished. You're banished. You're done. All right, right on. We got to wrap this up so you can do your shit. All right, get your ass on. You come back on next time. We're talking some more basketball with you, Fakers fan. Fuck out of here. All right, look, we had said you a good dude. Team sucks though. All right, here we go. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Josh, you heard me.
Yep.
What's today? We're about to wrap this show up because my man said has to do the ghetto. His show is dope. It's coming up next. And before we get up out of here, we had a segment we wanted to introduce to y'all, Josh and I. Yep. It is called, what is it? This Week in Ball. You know what I'm saying? We got three. You know, we had three, but you know what I'm saying? Maybe we'll just do one or two. Give me. I want to have three things, but this week, since it's abbreviated because we're about to wrap up, give me one or two things that you had, your favorite things that happened in ball this week.
So two things immediately come to mind. First one, just news that's been kind of slowly coming out the last 2 days. New collective bargaining agreement for the NBA.
Ooh, good call. Good call.
All of the details, of course, I'll spare y'all all of them. But two big things that came out of that is that players will now be able to get split on the league licensing revenue, which was not something that they split with the owners before.
You talking about basketball-related income?
Yeah, so...
But before it was only like 50-48.
Well, now
it's even.
Well, I don't know if it's fully even, but the team licensing revenue for the actual league. So like, for instance, whenever they have these partnerships with like Hennessy is the spirit of the NBA.
BRI.
Now players get some of that income, whereas before they were not.
No, but they did before. That was BRI.
Right. I'm saying BRI. The split overall is there.
Yeah.
But the licensing revenue that the league was getting from being able to put the NBA logo on all these different partnerships and that type of shit, players weren't getting none of that power.
Oh, that licensing money.
Yeah. Now they're splitting that.
Ooh,
so I
that's
think
a come up.
The
Good
valuation,
shit.
The valuation for
Good
that for
shit.
next season, I think is like $160 million.
Ooh.
And so now that $80 million goes to $80 million that goes to the owners to split, and the rest of that goes to the players, to, whether that's contracts or whatever. But there's more money into the league.
Man,
bro.
straight up, man.
So I like that shit. And then also, players can now invest.
Dope.
Players can now invest in WNBA and NBA teams. So if like you got guys like Kyrie Irving, for instance, who was big proponents of wanting to get the WNBA more money, he can go without violating the CBA, go and invest $10 million into the New York Liberty if he wanted to, and whether that's putting towards flights, whatever, that again, but that builds valuation for the WNBA.
Before they couldn't do that.
No, they could not do that, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Crazy to think about, but now they can not only invest their money in these teams, but also receive
That's crazy as shit.
money from those investments. So I think that's a big win for the players.
That's huge.
And then my other thing, man, second thing, again, a Lakers fan, but got to shout out another team in the West, the Sacramento Kings, man. 16-year playoff drought.
17.
And
17.
they snapped it this week.
Yeah.
So huge shout out to them. I think the last time they made the playoffs, I was like in middle school.
Word.
And I turned
Major
31 this
shout out
month.
to them. Major shout out to them.
That's just crazy. So,
Sacramento, way to go, y'all.
Yeah, they're my two for the week.
Bro, those were great ones for this weekend ball. Good.
Great weekend ball.
Yeah, for real. Those are some great suggestions you had. My suggestion, my pick, because Josh had some amazing ones. My pick this week was Caitlin Clark for Iowa University. This girl right here, man, this one-handed by herself. Iowa University beat the national champions, South Carolina women's basketball, Friday night.
They were undefeated.
They were undefeated. The women have not lost a game. South Carolina, I want y'all to listen. Hear this now. Hear this now. Wherever you are, wherever your ear is working, you hear me. The South Carolina women had not lost in 389 days. That was the last time they lost. They had not lost a game since March 6, 2022. Like, nobody could beat South Carolina women. Like, Dawn Stanley team was kicking everybody's ass. But I'm going to tell you like this. You know how Iowa beat their ass? Yeah. You know how they exposed them? South Carolina cannot shoot. Them sisters cannot shoot. They bully you.
Yeah, they bully
you down low.
They
bully you down low. They got Aaliyah Boston in foul trouble, so she couldn't do nothing but like board and like kind of play D, but she couldn't be the same player she normally is. The other big that South Carolina has, they didn't use her enough. No. She still had size, but they didn't use her enough, and she was crowded. You know what I'm saying? And then what was it? It was just I think what's that sister name? Fox.
I'm blanking on the name too. Shit.
The guard. If it wasn't for her, the guard is the one that was keeping them in the game.
Yeah,
and they just cannot shoot. And the thing that baffles my mind. This is what baffled my mind watching that whole game, because I watched that game. That game was amazing. Caitlin Clark is about to make a gobs of money in the WNBA, and she is going to clown. That white girl's cold-blooded. Yeah. How you can't stop one person? How you can't stop one? Why you can't stop one person? It was one person.
Look,
that didn't make no sense, bro.
She played.
It's one female with a ponytail running around. Stop her.
Hey, shout out to Sydney Colson on Twitter, bro. She said somebody got to start picking Anne Hathaway up before she crosses half court.
You know what I mean? Bro, like Anne Hathaway was killing their ass. She's hitting threes on the run.
Hey.
She's hitting threes on the run. She's going to the cup.
Bro.
She's spinning off motherfuckers. Like, she looked at like goddamn, I don't know what she looked like out there.
She gave the undefeated,
shit.
Not lost a game in 389 days, defending champions 41.
Kayla could not be stopped. She could not be stopped.
I don't care how much women's basketball you watch, you probably can't name another one of her teammates. And she's out there killing it.
Shadano, the center. She was good.
Yeah.
She was good. She was coming off the bench. She was doing her thing. She was getting some like kind of bullshit calls down there. You know what I'm saying? But she was doing her thing. Yo, major shout out to my boy Josh Price from That's Football for coming through.
Sir.
You know what I'm saying? We got to wrap this up.
Price Check Basketball Podcast. Also, we're going to have to make sure you're on that thing.
Bro, you keep talking about it. Bro.
I mean,
look,
follow the YouTube. The Price Check is the YouTube channel. We out.
You know
Look, we've been out, the last month and a half or so.
I'm low key watching your Battlehawks too. You know what I mean?
Look, 4-2, they playing right now too, man.
You know
so
what I'm
hopefully
saying?
we get a win today.
All right, right on. Y'all need one. What's the name? What's that piece? That women's basketball game was so good with Iowa and South Carolina. Yo, shout out to the women for doing their thing. Shout out to Connecticut. Shout out to San Diego State. The men's doing it. To what is it? Iowa versus LSU. Oh, they playing right now.
Yeah. First quarter, 20-20 tie game.
20-20 tie game. Yo, I'm about to go watch that shit. Yeah. Yo, stay tuned for Sid with the Ghetto coming up. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Dude is dope. His show was amazing. Yo, for Josh, for OThaGreat, yo, this is me. I'm going to keep hooping, keep smoking.